Hi, this is Joseph. It's Sunday, it's July 12th. This is the weekend analysis. We're going to start off here with the Euro futures. For those of you who are new to some of my videos and watching some of the videos on the website, I do trade futures at the same time that I'm trading currency pairs. So for example, the MT4 platform, I trade the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen. I trade approximately 8 different currency pairs. And those are available if you want to know which ones I trade. It's on the FAQ page of the website. But I'm also trading euro futures, pound futures, yen futures, and so on. I believe, and I've said this for many years, that it's a really good opportunity to get a lot more transparency into the behavior, the price structure, and it helps me determine and use some of the other technical analysis tools along with volume. So we're going to start off here. Again, a key day here. If we go back, we were talking about this last week. We've got that spike high with a strong volume. And then we have this bearish engulfing candle. Strong volume. As a matter of fact, one of the strongest volume candles to the downside that we've seen in approximately all the way back here. It goes all the way back to March 13th on this move to the downside. So this is a pretty significant candle in itself. Again, we were talking about this last week. That high and that low, if we sort of move our crosshairs straight off to the side, we can see that for the most part, last week we were sort of sitting in that range. That's something that I want to be paying attention to because this could lead to a better opportunity. So again, the question is, are we looking at consolidation before it starts to drop and make new lows, or are we looking at consolidation after this uptrend and it's likely to continue higher? So again, that's one of the key reasons I'm going to be focusing. That's one of the things that I'm looking at for confirmation is the June 11th candle. Again, this is the euro. This is the daily time frame. Again, paying attention to the fact that price is still moving sideways inside of that trading range. Again, my execution is going to be off of a 30-minute chart, sometimes a 5-minute chart, but usually the setups are going to be an intraday setup during the London or the New York session, off of the 30-minute or the 1-hour chart. So the 30-minute I could execute, let's say, for example, an HL30 or a Tech 1 trade. The 1-hour chart, I would execute breakouts, like the continuation breakout trade. And I'm naming off some of the strategies that I personally developed. You can see them. They're available on the website. Different days, obviously, would require different type of strategies and techniques altogether. Just depending on the trading environment. If it's consolidation, obviously I'm going to use one type of strategy. If it's a breakout or a trending move, I'm likely to use the continuation breakout trade. So again, something to keep in mind, that June 11th. And then let's go to the, so again, at the end of the day, right now at this point in time, I don't really have any signals. I see the bearish moves to the downside. The bearish candles seem to be obviously stronger than the bullish candles, as you can see here with the volume indicator. So this move here, I believe this was Thursday, that's a decent move, but still moving and traveling inside of that trading range from June 11th. So I want to be paying attention to that. Moving on to the Japanese yen futures. There was a little bit of a trending move here the last few days of the week, last week. You can see it to the upside. I've got the 5-day moving average in here. It sort of helps me draw my attention to that visually anyway. And but volume I still think is really limited here, and I just don't know how many trades I'm going to have with the yen. I like trading the yen. I like trading yen crosses, but I got to be really careful and really selective about it. And if things are just moving sideways and there's not a whole lot of activity, then it's not likely to cover, it's not likely to cover a very far distance anyway. And some of the trades may be really small. So I'm going to be careful with this one. I don't know if I'm going to be trading this one on Monday, the yen or the dollar yen. This is the pound futures. So again, more of the same sideways consolidation, but we've got some pretty interesting things sort of developing in here. There's a little area of resistance. I'll go ahead and open up this chart. Again, this is the daily time frame. So this resistance point here, this horizontal resistance, you can see it was tested a couple of times. It starts off right here. This was the, let me try to get that date right there. Sorry about that. That is the April 14th high and then the April 30th high. It retested it here. And we're running right into it. So last week, a couple of times, Thursday and Friday, it stopped and it held right around that range. And you can see how this uptrend line right here also created a little area of resistance. And the same thing here with this downtrend line. Things are kind of coming together here at a really interesting spot. We did have that 5-day rally, 5-day close, 6, 7. It starts moving up above the 5-day moving average. We talked about that last week. It looked like it was likely to continue. But when things start to slow down and they run into areas of resistance, we've got to be paying attention here for the next opportunity. Are we going to see price move sideways inside of consolidation before it makes another move to the upside? Or is it going to hold here and then start printing stronger indications that it's likely to turn around and start moving lower? This is a pretty interesting candle on Thursday, how it spiked up. I remember we traded this to the upside, and then I sold it on last week on the pound dollar. And you can see that the candle itself, it really wasn't very big, but there was quite a bit of volume. I mean, if you look at volume, it was like the largest volume candle for about 2 weeks to the downside. So, it might give me some kind of an indication of what opportunities I could expect to trade on Monday or Tuesday on the pound dollar. But again, if we see things moving sideways, it's just going to create fewer opportunities. I just have to wait. If things are moving sideways on a smaller time frame, obviously it's not going to be a trending move, and I can't trade any continuation breakout trades for bigger profits, but I'll be closely watching. Eventually, we're going to get those breaks. I do have my charts set up on the 1-hour time frame for the continuation breakout trade with alerts, so that way I can be notified as soon as I get some kind of a break. And eventually we'll get, it's the cycle that it always repeats. It's always going to work this way, where we get trending moves and then we get consolidation, and then we get trending moves and we get consolidation, and that cycle just continues to repeat, and I just wait for the opportunities and follow along. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here, and I will send out the next update at approximately this time tomorrow.